Good morning, everyone, and good morning, Rediscovered Woman. Hey, it's Juanita McDonald, and I am here at home today. I finished my workout, and it is such a beautiful, beautiful day. I encourage you to take a morning walk or take a lunch break, take and get outside and just refresh your mind because it is so gorgeous out here. Today, I want to come to you and share, or rather piggyback off of my morning message that is on Facebook and Rediscover Me. And I wanted to go a little bit more in depth on that. In that morning message, I talk about my friend. Her name is Swoopna Kamor. We call her Tina. Tina is a very quiet, somber spirit, and she's Indian. And we became friends back in 2012, I believe it was, 11, 12, at Midland Tech. When I first met Tina, it was in a class, and as she always states, she walked in our classroom, and the very first person to smile at her and talk to her and make her feel welcome was me. And every time she tell that story, it makes my heart so happy. And I just with it, I just looked at, how much do we impact an individual? And to me, what it does is it causes or forces me to think about what I'm saying, how I'm doing it, and how important I present myself. And to tell you a little bit more about Tina and why that is so important, what I found out was that she had just came to this country. I hadn't been too long, been here, and she never went anywhere. And she and her sister-in-law would always sit and watch Judge Judy. That's her favorite TV show. And so being from a different country and coming here to America, she would view America based off of a television show. And as you know and I know, this is only a snippet of people that you see, and those shows present so many forms of characteristics of people that is not what you would see on a normal day. And so that clouds our judgment, that clouds our view, and what we would and I'm laughing because I'm actually remembering how the look on her face when we actually sat down and had a conversation about it. But when we sat down and we talked, and she shared with me all of this stuff, and the first thing I told her was, okay, we have to get you another television show. I need you to stop watching that because that is not how America really is. That is not how people really are. And I need you to step out and make another friend and get to know other people. And I became that person that she stepped out to get to know, and it has branched further from just me. And so I can say that she, as well as our other friend Magdoli Miller, who is Hispanic, we became that little trio. But getting back to my message, intentionally connection, that was a major lesson that we all learned that year, and why it's so important to get to know people, why it's so important to step outside of your comfort zone. Just think about it. Each day we have our regular routine. We start out our morning doing whatever it is that works for us. For some it may be exercising, for some it's rushing the kids off to school or to daycare, for some it may be dealing with emails and business calls, whatever the case may be. That's our morning routine. But guess what? You're still in your little same bubble. And then your day functions based off of a typical routine. You still see the same people, you still talk to the same circle, and then at the end of the day you come back to that routine you started out with. But how have you and I missed an opportunity to connect with somebody outside of that realm? Intentional connections require us to look for someone, intentionally look for someone. So if you are at work and you sit with the same group of women or the same group of men and women and you have the same conversation, today, talk to somebody else. Look for that lady or that male that may be sitting by themselves. Go talk to them. Ask them how they're doing. Compliment them. And if not that, when you are out shopping or taking care of your family, speak to someone intentionally and compliment them from a different perspective as you. And the reason why I asked you to do that is because we are in a day and time, where people are trying to function in life. They're trying to stay afloat. They're trying to keep everything together, and they're hurting on the inside, and do not have anyone that they can talk to about it, or they're in that mode of sadness, wearing that painted face that you and I don't see, but these illusions that are there is keeping them down. So it takes you, it takes me, it takes every one of us to not just look at the outer shell of an individual, but look at the heart of that person and just elevate them, compliment them, speak to them, talk to them. Go inside of that bubble, and you know everybody won't receive you, because that's just human nature. But then but let's think about the ones that will. Let's think about how when somebody have invaded your space and you felt like, what are you doing here? Why are you, talking to me? But then later on, after you thought about it, and they might have said something positive and you go back to your little space and you think about it, how did that impact you? How did it make you feel? So this is what I encourage you to do, is to think about it, and think about my friend and where she would be if she was still at home watching Judge Judy and never had the opportunity to meet individuals such as myself or one of our instructors, Miss Moultrie, who has that positive heart and always looked for the good, and then took time out to teach us and show us how to connect and how to view things, and using the communication, our form of communication, to branch outside of our comfort zone. You are a positive force. I am a positive force, and we each have greatness inside of us. In order for us to be better, we have to connect with better. Again, my favorite motto is, everyone that we meet, you meet, and I meet, knows something that we don't, or that you don't, I don't. And I can definitely say, through Tina, I have learned so much about the Indian culture. Through Tina, I've had a time trying to learn how to put on their dressing and what different symbols mean. I assumed that her religion was one way, and it turned out to be something totally different. I learned that I can't eat all of their food. It's all the spicy foods. menopause, and that spicy food does not work well. But what I love about connecting with her and her family is that they prepare food for all types of guests, and food is sort of like the African American or the black culture. That is how we show our love. That's how we show that you are welcome. And because I've connected with her, I've learned and I've grown, and I don't see in Indian culture from the perspective that I used to. And I owe that to them, and I thank them for that. And we even have an Auntie Sheila, who is she's I want to say, she teaches at a university, or she's retired now, but she taught at a university. But through her as well, I've learned so much, and our spirits just connected so instantly as soon as I met her. And she's someone that I can definitely say I will not ever forget. And so, with that being said, again, just a reminder, intentionally today connect with someone that does not look like you, doesn't act like you, and doesn't do the same things that you do. And see how that inspires your life in some form, because every day is a building day, is an opportunity for you and I to be better, to build, to cultivate new relationships, cultivate new strategy plans. And just imagine, like with me and trying to build a business, how connecting with someone else can inspire you to make something happen that you've been working on, or break a blockage. Sort of like a writer, and they'll say, oh, I'm having writer's block, and I do that all the time. But they can give you just that one little word or that one little idea that will catapult you to an area where you can do something, break whatever it is you're trying to do. So today, the word is intentional connections. And I encourage you, Rediscovered Woman, to intentionally connect with someone in your area, in your reach, in your daily task that is not like you. Have a great day. And also, let me remind everyone, we do have a Women Empowerment Workshop session coming up, and it is scheduled for August 20th, and it's going to be at the Print Building here on off of Monticello Road on August 20th from 2 to 5 p.m. And I do look forward to you joining us at that event. It's going to be great. Now, this workshop is not going to be a typical workshop. It's going to be, we're going to have, the first part is going to be a two-part session. And the first part is going to be the actual workshop, and where we'll take you through exercises. But then we're going to have a panel guest, which will take place, which will be the second part of the workshop. And so we're very excited about it. Next week, I'll start announcing our panel guest who will be there. And these women are going to give us great insight on identity. And so if you have not purchased your tickets, I encourage you to go on Eventbrite and look up A Seat at the Table, or connect through Facebook. I am posting all of that through all forms of social media, and get your tickets. And trust me, it will be well worth your Sunday afternoon. And we'll also be serving refreshments too. So again, we look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and also comment. And I just, before I go, I always get a lot of comments, inboxing or emails from individuals talking, about things that they are dealing with. I encourage you to, if it's not too, intense, that you can share things, post in our comment section as well, because there are other women who are going through things, and they're suffering, they're hurt, they have so many different forms of pain, or they are just stressed out, and they need to know and see and hear that you're going through the same thing. And it helps them to have that freedom to speak up, because the first thing with any type of problem, addiction, or anything that you are dealing with, the first thing that you have to do is admit it. And then once you admit it, then you start breaking down walls to the point that you can actually start approaching resources and ways to get over those issues. So I just wanted to kind of blab that out there and encourage you that when you are listening to not just me, but any inspirational person that is delivering a message, comment, send the hearts, send the likes, share the message with all of your friends and family, and just deliver that message to someone who may be shy, who may just be hard at life, that they never stop to think about, oh, this is why I feel like I do, or this is why. So that's my my additional morning message that we'll go a little bit more in depth with. But today I encourage you to intentionally connect with someone and intentionally uplift another person that is not like you. Have a great day.